Now, if your photos look like they're living in 2015, we need to talk, okay? We need to talk, okay? Because this is 2025, baby. This is 2025, okay? So if you're still doing the old stuff, going about photography the old way, definitely you and I need to have this conversation. Stay tuned. I've got some gems that I want to share with you. Photographers that are up to date, that are in the know-how, they do know and understand that photography in 2025 is all about colorful, contrasty, vibey photos. You know, photos that are bold and vibrant, basically. Photography is all about being bold, being vibrant, because they know that vibrant is giving off the vibes, okay? So it's about having contrasty, vibey, very bright, colorful images. Are you in tune? Now, sometimes you want to shoot this new style as well, but in most cases, your images are coming off or coming out looking flat, and you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? You know, you've come to the right video. So that's what we're talking about in this video today. How do we shoot with vibrant colors, bold colors, to give off that vibrant vibe that we're talking about in 2025? It's just colors that look like they gave up no spark, no pop. Your images are looking like, you know, the color just gave up halfway, you know. It was on its way, but it just gave up, you know. You've come to the right video. Stick around. How do we shoot with vibrant, solid, you know, bold colors? Now, I've got something that can help you to achieve those images in this video. So I'm talking about 5 steps. I'll go over 5 steps that you want to consider, that you want to check off on each and every of your photo shoots that you're doing this year, if you are in on vibrant, bold, bright images styles that we're talking about in this video. Now, step number 1 has everything to do with you embracing those bold colors. You see that red dress? Challenge yourself. See if you can create a proper photo shoot with good looking images using that red dress. Yeah, and how about that green wall? Are you able to incorporate it in your photos as a background to help create those punchy, bold, strong looking colors in your images? And how about the yellow sunset, the yellow bright sunset? Can you shoot around that time of the day to create very contrasty photos that pop and full of depth? See, as a photographer, especially for me, when I started out photography, I learned that it's very important to plan your photo shoot with mute colors, both what your subject is wearing and also what the background is, because of the mute the colors is, it doesn't interfere much with the skin tones. And so even in editing, so then it's easy for you to be able to come up with a very decent looking image. And really, if you're starting out, and it's good advice, and I used to do it myself, you know, but in all, this is just playing it safe, you know. This is just playing it safe, you know. If you really want to create images that pop, those 3D images, you really want to look at how you can incorporate colors into your images. So look at those bold colors that are unusual in images and see if you can use them, you know, if you can incorporate them. Now, step number 2 has everything to do with you understanding the color theory. Let me break it down. Understanding color theory, I want you to think of it like what color complements another color. Now, in this case, for instance, blue is a good complementary color to orange, purple is complementary to yellow, red is complementary to green. So understanding color theory, understanding the scene of where you're doing your photos, basically what your subject is wearing and what the background is, so that is how you want to look at it. You want to envision the scene before you go and you are out there doing the photo shoot. This will help you greatly. This is what color theory is all about. Be very intentional about it. What is my subject wearing? If you're going on a photo shoot, what is the model wearing? What color is the model wearing? And on what background or on what backdrop are we shooting? Be it a natural backdrop or be it one in studio. You want to incorporate colors that complement each other. It doesn't matter how you do it. If the colors complementing each other, it's like eye candy, It's good, it is soft, it is smooth on the eye, it's very beautiful on the eye. So you will end up creating very beautiful images. It might be hard and very difficult in the beginning, of course, but as you learn and understand this, when I started photography, I didn't know all this, I remember when I had my camera, for me it was like, okay, because now I'm that guy taking the photos, I just have to show up with my camera and just snap a few photos, But if you really want to make a difference, if you want to tell a story within your images, it's very important to learn about color and really understand it, Now, I definitely encourage you to sit down, study up on this color. There's something called a color wheel, and when we're talking in terms of complementary colors, you will realize that the blue that I was talking about, the orange is right on the opposite side of it. The purple that I was talking about, the yellow is right on the opposite side of it. The red that I was talking about, the green is right on the opposite side of it. So what does this mean? Study these colors very well, study these colors very well. Sort of know this in the back of your head, like this color complements this. So for instance, when you are doing wedding photography where the event is fast-paced, is you're on your feet the whole day, as a photographer, if you know these things, you will be at an advantage. Basically, you can tell your subject or the people that you're photographing to stay this side of the room because this is where the light is, or this is the best background than that background. Mind you, it's all about communicating as well as a photographer, because you know these colors and you understand it. Your client in most cases do not know, they have not learned any of these things. So you need to communicate, you need to speak up to let them know that in order for the color to pop, for the image to pop, for the image to look good, you have to place them in front of a beautiful background that is complementing how they look or what they are dressed in. Now, let's move on to step number 3. Step number 3 has everything to do with light. Light is really everything in photography. Understand your light, be it artificial light or natural light. So if you're a beginner and you're just starting out as a photographer, I strongly advise you shoot in golden hour. Shoot in the afternoon where it's golden hour, because we're talking about pictures that are bright, that are bold looking, that have vibrance in it, that brings the vibe. In order for you to execute, to succeed at this type of images, you need to schedule your photo shoots in the afternoon or right before sunset, which photographers called the golden hour, because this time the light is really suitable for you and these images, because what it does is it creates dreamy, very beautiful light for your images. You can shoot backlit. You can put your subject in between you and the sun to give the images depth, or you can front light your subject with the sun, of course. Try to use shadows in your images, because these will create contrast. This will avoid your images from looking very flat, and especially 3D like poppy images is what we're going for. Try to incorporate shadows in your images. Shoot backlit, for instance, and golden hour is the best time, I feel like, for you to accomplish this type of photos. Step number 4, in-camera settings. Yes, if you're shooting JPEG images straight out of your camera, make sure that your color profile in your image has a lot of contrast onto it. But if you are shooting raw format, you can always do that in Lightroom or wherever it is that you edit your pictures in. So you want to slightly increase the contrast in those settings when editing your images to bring out that pop, that 3D dimension. And another setting that you want to play with also is your ISO. If you're shooting on a Canon camera, it's best to set it between 100 to 400. If it's too dark, maybe you can go up to 800, but keep it between 100 and 400, because this setting, this ISO, brings out the vibrance of the image. The image is not noisy, so it is not flat looking. So make sure that you're shooting within that ISO. And also another setting that is very important to really accomplish these vibrant, bold, good-looking, poppy images is you want to look at your exposure triangle. So when you at your photo shoots and you're doing these images, try to underexpose a little bit. Don't overexpose. Underexpose a little bit. So when you underexpose a little bit, and after the photo shoot, and you bring your images into Lightroom or any other software that you use for photo editing, it is able to help you greatly in editing those colors in a way that they are vibrant, and you're able to tweak sliders and bring those colors out and really just make your images look great, make your images look okay. Now step number 5 has everything to do with you editing with intention, of course. Yes, another slider to play with is vibrance and dehaze. You don't want to do too much for your image to look like a cartoon character out of a movie. So you just want to twitch it a little bit, to make sure that those vibrance, those good colors come out. And also pay close attention to what these adjustments are doing to your skin tones. In every edit, skin tones are very important. You want to make sure that your skin tones look natural as much as possible. So don't only focus on the colors of the outfit and the background, forgetting that you are messing up the skin tones, okay? To really accentuate those colors and really make your images vibrant and really pop when you're editing, some sliders you really want to mess or play with is the HSL sliders. Use those to enhance the colors in your images so that they don't really look flat. So if your intention is to execute this style of a vibrant, bold and vibey colors in 2025, it's going to have to start from the planning, how you're planning these photo shoots, how you are planning these photo shoots, to how you are shooting at your photo sessions, and down to post-processing, how you're processing these images. And if you are mindful of all this, you will definitely create good looking images that are present in 2025, not 2015. Okay, see the difference? It's not magic. its intention. Yes, it's about you creating these images with the intention in mind. So now, are you ready to shoot with purpose, with power, and with pop? Hit that like button, smash on that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and let's get down to shooting and making our images look they are in the present moment, leveling up our work as photographers and landing those high paying clients. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm happy that you are able to watch the video all the way through. I see you in my next video.